All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. They try to take me down. They try to take my stream down. Was unavailable. I know what happened here, ladies and gentlemen. I know what happened here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do what I wanted to do here, but we're definitely here. We're definitely live, and we're definitely back with the quick live stream here. I do apologize for that. Some connection issues, but we are officially back, man. We are officially back. So make sure y'all come on in and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, man. I really do apologize for the way things just ended like that. But I'm not gonna show no more two more of the film. I'm gonna wait for the all 22 film to come out. And once that comes out, then I'll probably make a video on certain things that I've seen, um, that I was not really a big fan of. There was a lot of things that I wanted to show y'all in that fourth quarter. I wanted to show y'all in that fourth quarter, a lot of things that went down, but unfortunately, they try to take me down when it comes to the showing the game. So when the all 22 film come out, that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm probably do it for members only, in my opinion. But we're going to be back here. We're definitely going to open up the phone lines now. There was a lot of things that I saw, and I'm definitely about to get my notebook and break it down to y'all for what I saw earlier today. From what I saw earlier today, man, and I do apologize for the stream being the way it is. Do apologize. But yeah, they try to take me down. They try to take me down. But let me go get my notebook. Let me go get my notes, and I'm just going to talk about it. Give me 1 second. Make sure y'all share the live. Make sure y'all share the live. I do apologize for everything. I do apologize for everything. Yeah, because I mean, I know I was showing y'all the film, but they said stream unavailable. So I didn't know what happened there. So it was a lot of plays that I seen why Devon Diablo is not the answer at linebacker. That's one. Where can I get my money back for my ticket yesterday? I don't know. Make sure y'all share this live out, man. Make sure y'all share this live out. Cause I was not able to um get everything that I wanted to get. Make sure y'all share this live out. Post it on your Instagram. Let the people know that you're here. So come on in and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If this is your first time ever being here, we highly suggest that y'all subscribe, hit the bell button. And we definitely going to talk about it, man. We definitely going to talk about it again. Unfortunately, that happened to us with the stream. I am going to share it out as well. Just give me 1 second here while I share this bad boy out. And we're going to get right down to the nitty gritty of things. We're definitely going to get down to the nitty gritty. We're going to talk about this game. We really are. We really are. Because I think it's time for us to realize like this was a team loss at the end of the day. So definitely. We definitely want to talk about it. We're going to talk about a lot of things, and we're going to have the people call up. If y'all ready to call up, just let me know. Just let me know if y'all ready. If y'all ready to call up, because I could open up the phone lines right now. In my opinion, I could open up the phone lines right now. So before I do that, though, thank y'all for everybody that's coming back in. If we go 0-5 into a bye, what then, nation? I'm not thinking that far down the line. I'm taking it completely game by game. That's how I'm taking it. I'm taking it completely game by game, ladies and gentlemen. Game by game. So the Las Vegas Raiders lose to the Arizona Cardinals 29-23. Up 20-0 at the half. Up 23-7 in the third. A lot of things break down. A lot of things break down in this game. And I'm just going to break down the notes that I have from watching the game from this morning at work. So let's get down to it, man. In the third quarter, on the first defensive possession, Because I don't think we really need to talk about the first half. I think we already know what can happen. We already know what can happen in the first half. We already knew what happened. We was completely dominant. We controlled the line of scrimmage, and the right plays were being called. We were well-balanced offense. A well-balanced offense, and the defense got us the ball back as much as possible in that first half. So I don't think we really need to explain the first half. You watched the games at work? Yes, I watched the games at work on NFL Plus. Right, Danny Swirls, and we're back. We're back. So the third quarter collapse versus the Arizona Cardinals. The first thing was the face mask. I know we saw that on the first film. We saw that in the first live stream, but YouTube tried to take me down. So the face mask called by Bilal Nichols. That's the first thing I've noticed on the first drive in the third quarter. That's the first thing I'm telling. First thing that happened. That wasn't a face mask. The refs blatantly called that. That wasn't a face mask. He barely touched the face mask. So the ref should have never called that in the first place. Set the edge and force Kyler Murray to throw in the pocket. That's what we have to do. We have to force Kyler Murray we was forcing Kyler Murray in the first possession of that third quarter to force him to throw in the pocket. We didn't let him scramble because we set the edges on both sides. All right, so that's from the defensive side of the ball. The offensive side of the ball, the first possession that we saw on the film on the last one, Renfro stopped running his route. He stopped running his route on the second down. And the offensive line collapsed on Carr. On third down, we get a short route. We get a short route to Waller. He catches it 3 and out. That was only a 26-second drive on the field on the first possession of the third quarter. 26 seconds. The second defensive possession, missed tackles, getting beat in one-on-one coverage. We saw that from Jonathan Abram. Get beat by Zach Ertz when it comes to that. The Cardinals held the ball for 2 minutes and 1 second, had 2 penalties, and still was able to score a touchdown. On that play from Amik Robinson. It was a lot with it, but we're gonna talk about it. I skipped the punts. Because I just skipped it. But I'm gonna say as far as offense go. But our second possession of offense, the first 2 plays was 2 runs to Jacobs. What got us in very, very manageable third downs. That's what it did. It got us into manageable third downs. It ended up getting us 2 first downs on top of that. The offense moved the ball really well, coming out to the field with 1:30 left in the third. That's when Mac Hollins got the pass interference. And our offense was in the red zone. Our offense was kind of like in the red zone here. So we end up kicking that field goal, and we didn't score a touchdown. So it was 23-7. 23-7. The third defensive possession in the third quarter going into the fourth quarter. No pressure from the defensive tackles. No pressure at all. I didn't see any pressure from the middle. Only saw pressure from the outside, which is our defensive ends. Our D tackles could not even touch, barely could touch Kyler Murray in this game. We barely could touch. Barely. And I want to know why, for Patrick Graham in a 4-2-5, why are we dropping back Chandler Jones into coverage? Why are we dropping Chandler Jones back into coverage? I didn't understand that scheme. We know that Chandler Jones is not a great cover guy when it comes to a linebacker position. Even if he did get pressure, he missed 1 tackle while getting the pressures. He missed 1 tackle. But you don't drop Chandler Jones back into coverage. You just don't do it. We just don't do it. So Nate Hobbs do give up an inside slant route to get the first down. We gave up. I don't know if Howes was playing the sideline or he was playing inside. I think that's what he was doing. He was playing inside and gave the inside look to Douch. So the big play by AJ Green on Rock Yassin on the first down. We had missed tackles ran by Benjamin, but we did get the big stop on 4th and 1 to get the ball back. That's what I can say. The defense bent but didn't break. But y'all seen the Amik Robinson, coverage on that touchdown on the last one. We saw that. So fourth quarter offense. Offensive line gets beat from the snap. Carr does not have a chance to escape the pocket. If you go look at it on NFL Plus at 12 minutes and 31 seconds, that offensive line gets beat once the ball is snapped. The offensive line gets beat. That's why that ball gets batted down. At 12 minutes, go look at the film on NFL Plus and go to the condensed play, the condensed watch, and go to 12 minutes and 31 seconds. And you see how that offensive line collapsed on Carr. Carr pass was too high, intended for Mac Hollins. That was another one that he missed. And it was a batted ball at the line on third down. So 3 pass plays on that possession in the fourth quarter. 3 passing plays. Not once Josh Jacobs touched the football. Not once. So defensive fourth quarter. I don't understand what Patrick Graham's trying to do in a 5-2 defense, but if you are a slot corner, right? Why, when the ball is snapped, why are you coming down to how can I say it? So Amik Robinson was playing the slot. After the ball was hit, after the ball was snapped, he went flat into the X receiver and left 2 slot people open. But it's so many plays that I could look at. What's going on, Carlos? Shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, man. It's so many things I saw in the film, especially from Devon Diablo. Do everybody remembers the Wildcat play in the fourth quarter? When Benjamin took the direct snap. He took the direct snap. I looked at this play at least 40 times at work, watching this game film. And then he was untouched. That could have been tackled for a loss. But you let that man go over to the sideline and cut up. When you had a clear path to get him, he juked you 5 yards downfield. You had the gap. But it's so many defensive players out of place in this film. It's so many questions about this offense. I'm not blaming just the defense because this offense looked like shit. It really did. It looked like shit. Teamer's holding was bullshit. Roger Teamer's holding was complete bullshit. And a lot of these calls was complete bullshit, but we had to play through it like we always do. But at the end of the day, bro, it was so obvious that defensive players was out of place. They really were. We had 5 offensive possessions, and we only scored 3 points in the 5 offensive possessions. That's including overtime. And even in overtime, why in the hell? Why in the hell do we not run the ball to get field goal range? I just didn't understand it. I just didn't understand it. Let me pull up the phone number if we can. I got all this stuff in my banner stuff, so no, that's not it. Okay. So if you want to call in to the show and speak your mind about this, make sure you do at 267 732 8784. Let me see if it should be paired up. It definitely should be paired up. So if you want to call up to the show, it's open right now. Listen, y'all have everything to say in the chat. Let's let your voice be heard. Let your voice be heard. Come on up and call up. Let me see if this number is still working. I don't know. Let me see if this number is still working. Let me try. Let me just double check real quick.
Walnut Grove,
all right, so here we go.
PA.
And thank you for calling the Spotlight Raiders Talk. Who is this? Where you calling from?
What up, Spotlight? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother. What's goody?
Hey, it's Marcus from SAC. I talked to you last week.
Hey, we ain't gonna be too long, man, because I know the people want to call up, man. But I'm gonna let you hit the. I'm gonna let you say what you gotta say, man.
Man, where do I start, man? First of all, I just want to say real quick, McDaniel's play calling is piss poor, especially in that overtime where we're not running the ball. And Max Crosby, what was that missed tackle on the game winner on the 4th down and 4, where you're tackling him too high and he slips up under you? That's, I feel like we need to put more emphasis on getting sacks and getting some turnovers, because our defense is been costing us games for way too long now. And what do you think about McDaniel's, Spotlight? I don't even know what to say right now.
He just didn't call a great game. He just didn't. He didn't call a great game, and our offense didn't execute. But I'm not going to be the one to sit here and just blame Derek Carr. I mean, Derek Carr have some blame to it, but is it 100% Derek Carr? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So when it comes down to it, I think that Josh McDaniels, he took accountability. He said it in the presser last night that it starts with him. You got to put Derek Carr in better situations, and I don't think he put Carr in great situations. I don't think he put this offense in great situations. He got away from the running game. And from what I saw, what I put out there on the first reaction Monday, we were looking at the film, and we saw that some of that offensive line was collapsing. Some of the ones that we didn't even see Josh Jacobs touch the football. In the third quarter, I only think Josh Jacobs touched the ball 3 times in the third quarter. 3 times from what the film that I showed. So Josh McDaniels, he has to get better with the better play caller. He has to go with what the defense is giving him and just move down the field positively.
If our team doesn't put our players in the best positions to win, then it's going to be a long season, because our coaching cost us that game ultimately yesterday, I believe. And you could say what you want about our offense, but our defense can not hold the lead and cannot get off the field on 4th down, and that cost us the game also. So the whole team needs to just look at themselves and say we got to win these next 2 games. It starts with this Sunday. So
yeah, it's definitely, like I said, it's a complete team loss, even on special teams, because we even gave them great field position on special teams. So from all 3 phases, this is a team loss. I'm not blaming this on completely one person. It starts at the top. You hire Josh McDaniels to come in here to be an offensive guru, and I don't know if it's the complexity of the offense that Carr is not understanding, or the language, or everything of that nature. But I just feel like this is what we're supposed to expect when, as you as a head coach, Josh McDaniels, have not played 90% of your starters in preseason. But we expect this Raiders team to be on all cylinders once the season starts. Mind you, Derek Carr Devontae Adams, none of these players on defense, damn near anybody on defense, have not played live football in a month. That's 4 weeks of preseason that we had. Yeah, they might have practiced, but there's a difference between practicing and actually playing in a live game. You get what I'm saying? So you got to follow that on Josh McDaniels. And you got to follow that on the continuity of this offense and defense. If you look at this offensive line, we're still rotating offensive linemen during the game. There's no chemistry and there's no continuity there. So you have to fix that. Defensively, we got a lot of players out. Denzel Perryman didn't play. Trayvon Merrick didn't play. Anthony Everett, 4 to 6 weeks? He's out with a broken thumb. We gotta put the pressure on Josh McDaniels, and you gotta put the pressure on this offense because this defense was on the field a lot, but at the same time, we gave up too many fourth downs. Too many. And I seen Devon Diablo out of place. I seen Jayon Brown out of place. Amik Robinson, looking at the quarterback's eyes while a wide receiver is running a pivot route in your spot for them to score that first 7 points. And that was your guy, Amik Robinson. And the tape doesn't lie. I was just showing the film. The tape doesn't lie. So it's that's why I said it's on both sides of the ball. It's on both sides of the ball, in my opinion. It's
definitely on both sides of the ball. I would say this, that you should expect bumps in the road with our offense, but I feel like these last 2 losses, we're not getting any turnovers, we're not getting any sacks, and our coaches are putting our players in bad positions to fail, like not running the ball in the first game when it's 2nd and 3, and down and distance tells you to run the ball and get the 2-minute warning. Instead, you do 3 straight passes and you lose the game. And now same thing happens this game when we're on the 40, it's 1st and 10 after a Renfro fumble, and you do 2-3 straight passes once again. And I feel like Carr needs to, of course, play better, and he could have changed that play, but I feel like he's doing exactly what McDaniels was telling him to do. You know, I don't know what it is with McDaniels not trusting our running back who ran us into the playoffs on that last drive in the 4th quarter last year on a 3rd down to get us in the field goal range. So I don't know why we didn't do that if you didn't watch that game or what, but it's just really frustrating. I can't wait to see what we do this week. It's definitely a must win these next 2 games, because if we can get to 2-2, we can get a little confidence and start rolling a little bit and play the Chiefs that Monday night and see what happens from there. I feel like after that bye week, we got a good stretch of games that if we're playing some good football, we can go on a little win streak, be 6-3. Before you know it, 7-4. Who knows?
Well, we just got to see, what happens, man. We just should have ran the ball at OT, but it should never got to that. We just should have ran the ball effectively in the 3rd and 4th quarter and just get first downs. That's it. That's all we needed to do. Get first downs. And we didn't do that. No,
we didn't. So, and we only had 4 drives in the second half. So 2 drives a quarter, and the defense not getting off the field on 4th down also limits our chance to score. But because that being said, we're just pass happy, passing the ball, incomplete pass, not running time off the clock. So if we would have ran some time off the clock a little bit, get some first downs, they would have not had a chance to score at the end. And our defense would not have been gassed. And Crosby might not have missed a sack. Who knows? But we ain't got no Chandler Jones ain't been helping at all. I haven't seen him at all.
I don't know if you. We were just watching the film before YouTube took it down. We were just watching the film on NFL Plus, and for me, it looks like Chandler Jones is playing through an injury because we don't see that motor that we saw in Arizona. It looks like he's running slow, to a point where he's hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but something just don't look right with Chandler Jones from looking at the film. It just doesn't. There's no way on that option route that you give it to Williams and you see it. You're right. He's right there. He's right there. And once he pitches it, he just slows down. I don't know. I just don't know. So we do have people. Man. We do have people calling in.
Yeah.
So
right on Spotlight. Yeah, I always tune in to your Overreaction Monday.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I'm gonna answer this next caller and thank you for calling up, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, you too. All right, so I know I got a few people that want to call up and say some things. So make sure you call up. The number is 267-732-8784. I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet with y'all on here. I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure y'all come on in and hit that like button.
Portland, Maine, 1-2.
Because right now we only got 29 likes with 53 people in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for calling Spotlight Raiders Talking. Who is this and where you're calling from?
Hey, salute, brother. It's Vin Diesel from Maine.
What's going on, Vin? What's going on, Vin Diesel? How are you today, man?
I'm doing all right, brother. How are you?
I'm living, man. I'm living. God blessed me to wake me up to see another day. That's all I can think about as that. I don't want to think about, the stress level because the older you get, you don't want that stress level, brother. So I just try to keep a positive outlook out of this, man. I try.
There you go. That's all you gotta do, man. Fucking whatever. But nah, there's a lot of shit that's. And I said it before in a couple. There's so much to unpack. I mean, there's Josh McDaniels, there's Derek Carr, there's 20-0 in the first half, right? Was I satisfied watching that? Yeah, okay, but I wasn't excited though. Like I didn't feel that, nobody. He wasn't trying to put it away. Like we was doing what we needed to do to put the game away. Second half comes around. A lot of 3-4 looks. What the fuck is really?
It was a 4-2-5 to be exact. We only had 2 inside linebackers the whole game.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm like, what are you doing? It baffled me. Okay, whatever. But I think it's gonna take Derek Carr. There was a lot of shitty plays called, and Derek Carr should have audible out of them. And I don't know. Maybe it's the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? I don't know at this point, but I've seen Derek Carr over his career when he's been, hey, let the reins go. This is your team. Derek Carr will audible out of those things. He's like Peyton Manning. I think of Derek Carr like Peyton Manning. He's brilliant at seeing shit and adjusting. And I think Josh McDaniels. I think like he's trying to like impress McDaniels, and I'm like, McDaniels, you are right play calling, but if he sees something on the line, like I think by week 4, I think we're gonna be all right. I think it's bumps and bruises, but it's preventable, Like we're better than that. Everybody knows we're better than that.
But I got a question for you, sir. Now, do you think that, like I said before, do you feel that the offense should have played in the preseason? At least one drive, one or two drives.
100%. Like 1,000%. They should have played at least the last game, just to warm it up, just to fucking just go, just to get them excited, get that blood pumping, I think they should have. I mean, people will say, "Oh no," but it's important to me. I think.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay. So, and another thing too, like I want to throw this out there for everybody because this guy Jay Inquisitive, he said in the chat says, Derek Carr throws to Devontae Adams 12 times or more a game from now on. Let me tell you about that because I had a whole issue with people on Twitter about this. I was
going to say the same thing. Sorry.
I said this. Everybody had an issue with Derek Carr throwing it to Devontae Adams so much in week 1. They had a big issue. Yep. The man had 17 targets on 10 catches. Had a big issue with it. Oh, why he's not throwing a Waller? Why he's not throwing a Renfro? Why he's not looking at everybody else?
Why he not spreading the ball?
Why he not spreading the ball? He did that this week. Hello.
Guess what?
He did that this week.
That's another. Yep. That's exactly what I said. I said that to myself, like, before the second half, dude. I was like, people are going to be like, why isn't he fucking targeting Devontae Adams? I'm like, y'all motherfuckers just said he was targeted him too much.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me, and I'm a look at it. I'm going to read my tweet to y'all. If y'all have not followed me on Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Spotlight Art and Talk. I said it. Renfro had 10 targets for 7 catches. Holland had 5 catches on 8 targets. Waller had 6 catches on 8 targets. Even though Devontae Adams only had 2 catches on 7 targets, that's spreading the football around.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. Y'all can't ask Derek Carr. Yeah. Y'all can't ask Derek Carr to spread the ball around. And then when he does spread the ball around, no, I'm sorry. You can't expect to be like, oh, he's throwing the ball too much to Devontae Adams and not getting nobody else involved. But no, he can't get nobody else involved. You got to give Devontae Adams 20 targets. Make up your mind.
Exactly. Honestly, dude, I said that to myself going into halftime. I'm like, because I think it was Hopkins or, he had like 11 fucking catches going into the half. And I literally said that to myself. I'm like, I didn't get on Twitter, but I'm like, motherfuckers going to be all over the internet talking about why isn't he targeting Devontae Adams? And I'm going to be like, well, because he got so much shit from everybody, including the media. Why you targeting Devontae Adams so much? Bitch, he's a superstar receiver. Like, motherfucker. Like, where are you guys at now? Now they're like, oh, he didn't throw it to him. Dude, I feel you on that, man. I got so aggravated because I felt the same way. Like I said, and that's why I said give him a few games because honestly, Derek Carr needs to be like, hey, this is my offense. I got this, Josh McDaniels. You know, not that Josh McDaniels is like bad, but he just needs to be like, hey, I got it. You give me the prequel, I'll give you the sequel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start me off, I'll finish it. If I see something.
But Greg, he didn't have 2 targets. Devontae Adams was targeted 7 times in this game. He was targeted 7 times. He only had 2 catches, but he was targeted 7 times. So two catches is not enough. It's not. But he was targeted 7 times. Waller was target 8. Renfro was target 10. Hollins was target 8. That's spreading the ball.
Yeah. That is the definition of spreading the ball, dude.
But
you can't get no more definition.
Yeah, you can't get no more depth. All those guys almost had double-digit targets. Mm-hmm. He only had 2 catches, but he was targeted 7 times. I'm sorry. You got to make it make sense.
Yeah. No,
so you really can't. So I mean, people can say what they want. Yeah, Carr missed that play. And he missed that play that could have been an interception from Jalen Thompson. I completely understand that's a bad throw by Derek Carr. But we're not going to sit here and say Derek Carr didn't target Devontae Adams in this game, and he did. We just not gonna do that. We're just not gonna do that on here.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Everybody's saying trade. This and another thing for those car haters that's in the chat saying that you want to trade car. Be careful what you wish for. And I'm gonna tell you why. Be careful what you wish for, because if we go out and draft a quarterback next year and he becomes a starter, we're regressing again. But I'm gonna let you go, sir, because the lines are blowing up.
Hey, no worries, man. I appreciate you letting me out, brother.
All right, man. I appreciate you calling up. Let your voice be heard. And, we appreciate you calling up, brother.
Hey, salute, man. I got you, man.
All right, salute. And thank you for calling Spotlight Raiders Talk. Who is this and where you calling from?
This is Kari, and I'm calling from Baltimore, Maryland. And the reason we lost that game yesterday is because I put 50% of the blame on Carr, and I put the other 50 on Josh McDaniels. We would have been 2-0 if they just gave Josh Jacobs the ball in the second half more. Arguably, maybe 1-1, but I think we could have won the Chargers game if Josh Jacobs had seen the ball, because his specialty is wearing defenses down. That's what we should have did. We should have gave Jacobs the ball and took our shot on like maybe 4 or 5 play action deep passes, and we would have probably at least scored 10 more points. But I just don't think he was patient enough with the run.
You speaking on Josh McDaniels, correct?
Yes, I'm talking about Josh McDaniels. I don't think he was patient enough with the run. Like, I mean, I get we have Devontae Adams, but I just don't feel like I think Josh Jacobs needs to be getting 22, 23 carries a game.
Which he had 19, which he had 19 for like 70 yards, but still, that was still effective.
I don't know. I just feel like if with the amount of running backs that we have on our roster, I just don't see why we not wearing teams down. At least to start the year until Carr gets comfortable in the offense. I mean, I don't think it don't look offense. And it don't look like he on the same page as Adams. I don't know, man. But I just feel like we need to lean on the run game more, especially going against Tennessee. I mean, we should be able to outscore Tennessee. Like, they don't really have. I mean, our defense has been looking good. It's just they be on the field so much, they going to give up points. This is the new NFL.
Right. Absolutely.
So I just feel like with the way our defense is playing, we need to lean on Josh Jacobs and Zamir White. And what's the rookie name? Can use him too.
Britton Brown was inactive. They had him, and they had him.
I mean Abdullah, not Brown. I'm sorry, Abdullah, not Brown. Abdullah. But I mean, I like a lot of our backs. So I think we need to use the backs and play action, man. Play action. Use the tight ends and the running backs, because I feel like if we do that, I mean, Devontae Adams, I mean, the big plays to Devontae Adams is going to come naturally. And, yeah, so I blame that game on play calling. And, I mean, if we spending all of this money on Darren Waller and Devontae Adams, we should be able to at least score 10 more points. So I can't really blame the defense for that game. They was just on the field too much.
And Raider Paul says, stop making excuses. Damn, y'all said it was Chucky. Now it's McDaniels. Get the fuck out of here. No, you get the fuck out of here, Raider Paul, because I'm going to tell you something now. The only thing John Gruden did right with the Raiders is run the football. That's the only thing John Gruden did right in the 4 years that he was here. He put us through hell through the 4 years that we was here. But y'all talking about, y'all want Josh McDaniels out after 2 games. That's bullshit. Stop making excuses.
I'm not. I'm not there. I still think, like, man, it's still early, man. It's still early, and we 0-2. But I mean, look at it like this: the Broncos don't really look that strong to me. I still don't think the Broncos is a better team than us, and I don't think that we can't beat the Chargers because we played horrible. I mean, Carr played horrible that game. Mostly, our offensive line was struggling a little bit, and we still only lost by 5. And it's not like we can't beat the Titans. Like, we know that we can beat the Titans. It just comes down to executing plays. And I just feel like if Carr is not comfortable with some shit in this offense, he needs to speak up about it. Being as though he's been here for 9 years, and he's seen how many coaches. He needs to speak up on what's not working.
Yeah, that's what I agree with. I completely agree with you there. Derek Carr needs to step up and say what he has to say about his coaches. He needs to speak up. I completely 100% agree with that. If you don't like something that called, you check out of it. You be like, fuck Josh McDaniels. Just check out of it.
Right. Like, he needs to drop his nuts because I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting kind of impatient, and I support Carr, but I'm ready to see some winning, man, because we got everything that we need right now. We got Josh Jacobs, we got Devontae Adams, we got Renfro, we have Darren Waller, and we need to use Foster Moreau more. We need to use Jacobs and Foster Moreau more if they're gonna be overplaying Devontae Adams.
Hey, Raider Paul, you said the Carr fans are delusional. This is a team loss, you piece of shit. This is a team loss. You can blame it on Carr all you want and give it 100% to Carr, but this man threw 3 interceptions against the Chargers, and y'all blamed him for that. This guy has no turnovers in this game and scored 2 touchdowns for 251 yards, 25 of 39. And y'all still want to blame Carr. Yes, you're going to miss passes in the NFL. You're going to do it. We've seen the best of the best do it. Aaron Rodgers just did it last week. Joe Burrow just did it this week. Missed wide open passes to their best receivers, but y'all want to blame Carr for a fucking game. Get the fuck out of here with that. Please. This is bullshit.
I mean, he did pass for 2 touchdowns, but I'm not going to blame him for the whole game, but he definitely I'm not gonna blame him for the whole game.
Right, he missed some throws. He did.
Yeah, he missed some throws, but he should have them audibles at the end. Like I don't know what that was. And if it's really true that Josh McDaniels is telling Carr where to throw the football, I read that on some NBC article earlier this morning. If that's really true, they need to get that straight immediately. Because I don't see why you take Carr all of that money if he's not going to survey the field and kick apart, especially with the weapons he has. So I don't know. I hope they fix it, man. I hope they get it together, man. Because if they don't beat Tennessee, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. They got to go 1-2 at least this week, and we got to beat the Broncos after that.
This is my thing.
Thanks for letting.
Before you go, I just want to say one more thing. Patrick Graham, if you want to stop the run against Derrick Henry, you need 3 linebackers on the field. You cannot afford to have 2 linebackers and 5 defensive backs, and you really think you're going to stop Derrick Henry? Absolutely not.
I don't think we're going to have an issue. I don't think we're going to have an issue stopping that offense. I mean, with the way, look, we played Justin Herbert and Kyler Murray the first 2 weeks, and I honestly thought the defense did a good job against 2 quarterbacks like that because they 2 dynamic quarterbacks. I really don't think Ryan Tannehill, I think we could pick him off a couple of times. It's just about when the defense give us a chance, if the offense is going to put points on the board. Like, that's what I think it's going to come down to. But I don't really think we're going to give that many yards. We might give up maybe barely 100 to Derrick Henry. I mean, our run defense don't look that bad. We stopped Eckler, held him to what, 70-something yards? And I don't see who the Titans got over there that's going to beat Nate Hobbs.
I mean, they got Treylon Burks, and then Robert Woods is back over there too. So Robert
Okay,
Woods.
yeah, okay.
So they got some receivers. It's just that Ryan Tannehill just ain't a great quarterback. If we can't get to Ryan Tannehill, something ain't right.
Shout out to Robert Woods, USC, we 2-0, baby. But yeah, man. But
you had to throw that in there.
Robert Woods, if we don't stop Derrick Henry, they could probably play action with some quick slants to Woods. But I like what I've seen from our defense, man. It's surprisingly the only thing that I've been disappointed in has been the offensive execution, because our defense is better. If you would have told us that we could get Devontae Adams and all of these weapons, even with the offensive line, and I don't think the offensive line is as bad as people say either. Like, I think it's better than we thought.
It's better than what
honestly.
I think. We're better at running the football than passing the football, because I think that's the issue that we have now with the offensive line.
Yeah,
where we don't have no continuity because we keep rotating them during the game. So there's no chemistry at the offensive line position. So that's another thing.
When James come back, I think they keep in the same five. I think not what's his name? Parham is going to go to guard, and James is probably going to fill in. Cotton probably going. He going to be the swing. He's going to probably be the swing guard, because he's not really that good pass protection. But I like I like James too, but I like Parham a lot. I think he got elite potential.
Yeah, he only gave up.
Like I was saying,
I think he only got blown up one time playing center, and that's the positive about this, is that Dylan Parham stepped in for Andre James and played a good game. I think he had one holding, and he got like one pressure allowed.
Than a veteran that
he didn't give up a sack.
He played better than a vet we could sign off the street right then and there. He played way better than one of them.
Right.
So I mean, that was really I really like what I'm seeing from Dylan Parham. But
me personally,
as far
I
as
feel
the
like
defense, like I was saying,
as far as the offensive line go, I was going to say, I feel like Illuminor got to go, if I'm not mistaken. Illuminor just been getting punished the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, he always been like a backup type of player anyway. I mean, I'm not really too shocked.
Throw Mumford in there. Give Mumford that shot.
I like Mumford. Yeah, I think Mumford and Parham, that need to be the right side.
Yeah.
The role. Because I like how Mumford held up against Joey Bosa on the Chargers too. When he was, I mean, it was crazy to see him like rotate them in and out of there like it's high school football or some shit. But he did good. He held up.
Absolutely.
For a rookie, a 7th-round pick.
Yeah,
you can't ask for better than that.
Right. Mumford gets flags too, but Illuminor gets beat. He gets bullied.
Right.
He gets bullied.
Right.
It's a different. I'll take a flag from an offensive lineman before I get bullied in the bull rush every single snap. That's the problem with Illuminor.
Why do you think we haven't seen any of Malcolm Kuntz?
That's another thing, man. That is another thing. Like I'd rather see a young Malcolm Kuntz out there before I see an old Chandler Jones. I'm sorry to say. Like, now it's making me regret, like, oh, we traded Yannick Ngakoue for Rocky. I said, understanding we needed a corner. Completely understand. Probably would have got that in the draft, or we would have looked at free agency, which we did get Anthony Everett, but still, it's making me regret, like, trading Yannick Ngakoue. It really makes me regret that now.
I feel like Jones. See, that's the thing. I feel like Jones. I think he's still good. Like I think he's better against the run than Yannick was. But see, Jones. I think yesterday. I think he was in like more of a contained type of role because of Kyler Murray, and I think that might have like impacted his pass rush. Like this is like his leverage. But I mean, Max Crosby, he had a good game. But Jones, I think he's gonna have. It's going to be one of these games that's going to come up with Jones is going to have the signature game, I think.
He's going to have to take the trajectory of the game because Max Crosby is doing it by himself. He's a one-man band right now.
Yeah,
he needs help.
Yeah, Joe. I mean, I think they're gonna draft. They're gonna draft heavy on defense anyway. The next draft, they going for them trenches positions, mainly on the defensive line.
And I want to see these.
I thought we were trying to dominate too.
Right. I want to see these rookies that we drafted. You know, I want to see Neil Farrell as a defensive tackle and Malcolm Butler. I think his name is Matthew Butler. My bad, Matthew Butler.
Yeah.
I want to see these two guys get some reps. People can
secondary,
say,
if you look at it.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Secondary has been playing pretty good. I was just saying, like, I know you're talking about the defensive line, but I'm saying we're not really getting consistent pressure. So if you really look at it, our secondary is low-key balling.
Right. And that's why I feel like if Crowley going to get some help, we need a push from these D tackles. We need a push. And that's been one of our issues on the defensive side of the ball for years and years to come when it came down to it. Like, our defensive tackles can never get the pressure up the middle. That's been our one issue. And I think give Neil Farrell and give Matthew Butler a chance in a defensive rotation. Yeah, you got him rotating with Bilal. You got a rotation with Bilal Nichols and Jonathan Hankins and Kendall Victors. Why not put some of these fresh legs in with these guys? Like the Malcolm Coons. Rotate Chandler Jones with Malcolm Coons. Split the snaps.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see Malcolm Kuntz because I want to see Malcolm Kuntz get more snaps than Farrell because I think he got like game breaking potential.
Right. And another thing is, like,
I mean, I know it's preseason, but he was pretty much like forcing like a strip like every time he got in the game, like every game.
See, and another thing, though, Right. I completely agree with you. We got that guy Bauer that played well in the preseason at the pass rush. Had him rotate with Malcolm Coons and Chandler Jones. He made the 53-man roster.
Yeah.
Why not play this guy, Luke Masterson and Darian Butler? Why you're not rotating the linebackers? Hello, Darian Butler played really well in the preseason, and so did Luke Masterson. What are we doing here as far as the coaching staff? You get what I'm saying? I understand they're rookies, but you got the best thing to do is give them those reps when it's live play and when it counts. You don't want to sit them during the whole season, and then when somebody gets hurt, you got to throw them in there. No, you throw them in there with the starters right now.
That's what the Kansas City Chiefs is doing on defense. They throwing all of their young guys in.
Right. That's what you have to do.
What's his name? Watson had the pick last week. Justin Watson or whatever his name is. The guy that they said was working at Wendy's or some shit like that.
Working at Wendy's? What?
I'm just saying that to say, like, yeah, they think he was working at Wendy's. Like, I think like a month before, and he like basically tried out for the Chiefs and made the team or something. Wow. But I'm just saying, like, they playing like they just playing all of the young players on defense because against the Chargers, I mean, they defense made some stops late, even though the Chargers didn't have Keenan Allen. I just think that the Raiders should just play Malcolm. I'm pretty sure Malcolm Kuntz is going. I can't see him not getting in though.
And I got a question for SD Puller. He said Josh McDaniels it says y'all going to have a losing record if we keep Josh McDaniels dumbass. Okay, so if we keep Josh McDaniels, name a coach right now that we can hire. Then I wait. Name a coach that's better than Josh McDaniels right now that's out there that doesn't have a coaching job. Then I wait.
I still feel like people kind of overreacting though, man, because you still got to look at the first half and see. Like, we seen a good team the first half.
We seen the potential in the team in the first half.
Right. Yeah, we were supposed to beat the Cards like 40-3 or some shit. Like, if we really being honest. It's just Josh McDaniels, and he needs to stick to his principles. Like, he won all of these championships on the Patriots because they used their running backs and they tight ends. And we got, 5 running backs on the roster? And we paid Darren Waller all of that money. So I don't see why we don't. I mean, I get we have Devontae Adams, but I don't think we should just go to Adams immediately every game. Like, I think we need to just start off running the ball, going to the tight ends, play action, the Holland. You know what I'm saying? Using Renfro. So that way, by the time the third quarter comes, they gonna have to adjust to them, and you can just probably hit Adams with some deep shots because of the coverage he might take.
People saying Sean Payton. Let me tell you this right now: Sean Payton is not coming back to coach football, so that's out. John Gruden would never. I mean, if he does come back, he's going to come back and coach Dallas, most likely. He won't coach the Raiders.
Chargers.
Yeah, it probably coach the Chargers. If Brandon Staley don't get it together over there. Valerie Lynn said John Gruden would never coach another down in NFL again with the investigating that's going on with him.
If they gave him a job, he'd take it.
I see John Gruden coaching in college before he coaching the NFL again.
I still believe in Josh McDaniels, man. I still think he's still the right guy, man. We only 2 games in. It's a brand new offense.
We're not paying him like Gruden. We won't pay Sean Payton like John Gruden. We're not paying $100 million for another coach. We're just not. I'm sorry. We're just not.
I'm going to be honest. Like, do anybody, like, all right, so, like, have y'all watched, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people on here watch the other games. Like, so, if you look at the Broncos, man, do y'all really think that the Broncos is really a better team than the Raiders? Like, when you really just watch them play. Like, it's not like we should be able to beat the Broncos twice, honestly.
Right.
If we can't do that, then we just not worthy of going to the playoffs. That's how I look at it.
I completely agree.
We should be able to at least split with the KC and the Chargers because I've seen the Chargers defense. They were struggling to cover Mike Williams, man. And Keenan Allen wasn't even out there, and the Chargers was having a way. And they was running predictable offense. Like, they wasn't doing nothing that we haven't seen the Chargers do. And they was just having a way. So it's no excuse that we have the weapons that we have and we can't beat the Chiefs defense. Because, I mean, who do they have, like, when they back in? When we play them, though. Because McDuffie is out when we play the Chiefs. And what's his name? What's the guy named Gay? He just caught us like a 6-game suspension for PEDs or something. And he's like one of their best linebackers.
All right,
so who do the Chiefs really have?
Listen, the one thing, the difference between the Chargers, I can't say the Broncos because they own a whole new regime just like us. The difference between the Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Raiders, you really can't compare the Chargers and the Chiefs to the Raiders and Broncos because the Raiders and Broncos are going through a whole new regime. Number one.
Yeah.
And then number two, if you look at the longevity since Justin Herbert's been in the league, he had the same coach. Since Patrick Mahomes came in the league, he had the same coach. Same offensive coordinators.
I mean, he had
same
Len
defensive coordinator. Who?
Herbert. He had Len because that's when Tyrod Taylor. No, was that Staley?
That was Staley. That was Brandon Staley.
Oh, was it Len? That was Brandon Staley?
It was Brandon Staley. But they saying the Raiders need a mobile quarterback. They saying that we need to trade Dell Jr. I don't understand where you said we need to trade Josh Jacobs. I don't get that part.
Nah.
We're not trading Josh. We're not trading Josh Jacobs, bro. We just not. And then they said that. Then somebody said Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. I need one of them this all season.
We're gonna have to be like trash to get either one of them.
That means you want us to have a losing year to get one of those guys because they are top 10 picks.
Right.
They're top 10.
5. No, top 5 probably.
Yeah, probably top 5. So you want us to have a losing season to go get a quarterback. I'm not regressing like that. I'm just not.
Right. Not right.
I'm just not doing it.
Right.
But the thing
we would have to trade the quarterback and first those picks.
Right. And I just don't see that happening. But we've been on here for almost 30 minutes talking, bro. But I do appreciate you calling up to the show, man. I really do.
You too, man. I'm a big fan, and I'm definitely going to keep supporting him, man. And I've been subscribed for like at least 2 years now.
I appreciate it, man. Just keep calling up every Monday, man. Keep calling up. I'm down for the talk.
Definitely go Raiders, and shout out to Watts Raider as well.
Shout out to my boy Watts Raider, man. I know he probably somewhere working right now, but shout out to one of the OGs of the YouTube game is Watts Raider.
Definitely, man. Pleasure speaking with you. Have a great night.
All right, you too. All right, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, man. We need to. It's a lot of things that need to be fixed, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of things need to be fixed, and it starts with coaching. You brought in 5 running backs to be on this roster, and we only utilizing Josh Jacobs. We only see Amir Abdullah once. Amir Abdullah had a great screenplay in the first half, but we don't utilize him enough. Like, we got 5 running backs. We have to utilize these running backs, man. We have to utilize them because people think that this league is supposed to be pass happy. The only way you're going to establish a good passing game if you have a good running game. People can say what they want.
Fort Lauderdale, SL 1.
But we got the next caller on the line. But like I said, running backs really need to be established in this game. It really need to be established in the game a little bit more. So, thank you for calling the Spotlight Raiders Talk. Who is this and where you calling from?
Hello?
Thank you for calling the Spotlight Raiders Talk. Who is this and where you calling from?
Yeah, hey, this is Johnny. I'm calling from Florida.
What's good, Johnny? What's going on, brother? What's up with you?
Yeah, hey, I've been a Raider fan, brother, since 1979. And I watch you guys on YouTube, you know. And the thing that I see with the Raiders is Derek Carr is just not the guy. You know what I mean? And I noticed that we've had great players in the past. And it's sad to see that these Raiders now put a performance out there when we got this fan base that we have. You know, we got the greatest fans in the world. People spend their hard-earned money. And to see a performance like that, a collapse, me and my family, you know, I'm originally from Northern California, Stockton area. So I grew up a Raider fan. My family, everybody's been a Raider fan. And it's sad to see. But at the end of the day, we have Derek Carr who can't make other players better. And at the end of the day, in 2016, that injury, he's just a different quarterback. Great quarterbacks make their other players better on the field, and we just don't have that at that position. Now, I see Josh McDaniels, and I even told some friends and family, like, you got to play to the strengths of people. And you know, the run game was working. And I just don't understand why we go away from the run on a must win that we need. And now we're traveling to Tennessee 0-2 with a desperate, you know, we need a desperate win. 0-3, I mean, you know, that's going to be like, what you going to do 0-3? Now everybody in the team is going to be like looking, pointing fingers. We just need some better leaders on that team.
So so you're saying that Carr is not the answer, but the people can say what they want about Derek Carr. This man, I'm at a point where to the Raiders fans, I really hope the Raiders give you fans what you want, because look how many quarterbacks we went through before we got Carr.
Exactly.
And I can completely understand. Outside of 2016, Carr hasn't had consistency as a Raiders quarterback. He hasn't had consistency at the coach position. The most consistency that he had was John Gruden. But look all the coaches he went through 6 coaches in 9 years. 6 coaches in 9 years, and he only had Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree as his weapons. Outside of that, you had Henry Ruggs, but Henry Ruggs was, you know, that whole situation, it happened.
Yeah,
that happened.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just feel like I feel bad for Carr, But at the same time, I really hope the Raiders give the fans that say that Carr is the problem. I really hope that he goes somewhere and plays better somewhere else than playing here with us. Because at the end of the day, even though we're 0-2, the 100% doesn't go on Carr. Yes, we're going to have players miss. We're going to have quarterbacks miss some throws. And we've seen it around the league from the top guys. That's not even in. Carr's not a top. Carr, we all know Carr's not a top 5 player. But we've seen top 5 quarterbacks like a Joe Burrow have worse games than Derek Carr. But you don't see the Bengals fans going at the Joe Burrow's head saying, "Oh, it's time to get rid of Joe Burrow." He's not.
Yeah, but you also got to understand.
Hear me out.
I hear you.
The Chargers gave Carr threw 3 picks. Understanding that. Joe Burrow got sacked 8 times and had 4 picks. Against a Pittsburgh Steelers defense that was just as good as the Chargers. Then Joe Burrow had 2 more picks in his game against who they just lose to. I forgot who the Bengals just lost to, but they 0-2 just Cowboys.
Like us. They lost to the Cowboys,
which was a worse defense than the Cardinals. So I'm seeing it as we have to take the accountability, even though if you're a football fan, and I know we're just talking about the Raiders, but we have to see it from all aspects of football. And that's where I see it from. I see it from all aspects of football where I don't see other fans getting on their quarterbacks. They behind their quarterback, win, lose, or draw. A lot of fans, especially a lot of Packers fans are pissed at Aaron Rodgers. But of course they beat the Bears, of course, because they own the Bears. But if you go up against a good defense, these receivers is not good for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers talks bad about his receivers, and the fans hate that. But the fans love him too. But it's just like the whole Raider Nation is crumbling down on Carr to a point where this guy could throw 450 yards and only have 1 incompletion and 4 touchdowns, and it's still not enough for us. I just feel Carr's pain. No matter what Carr does, he took us to the playoffs last year. No matter what Carr does, he could take us to the Super Bowl, and we still have Carr haters. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the part I'm not understand. That's the part I'm not understanding.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is though is you see other quarterbacks. You use Joe Burrow as an example, right? Now you also got to understand Joe Burrow is a young quarterback who already took his team to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
But we're not talking about that. That's the thing. I knew you was going to go there. That happened last year. We talk about the first 2 weeks of this season. Season. He's still the most sacked quarterback. He has the most interceptions in the league right now. Carr doesn't. Yeah. It's Burrow. I'm talking. I don't care if he took the team to the Super Bowl last year. That happened.
Yeah.
But the last 2 weeks, Joe Burrow damn near leads the league in interceptions. Carr doesn't.
Exactly, but at the same time, okay, with another, like, say the year ends, right, and we're like, what, 6-11, because now there's 17 games. Where do you go from here? Whose fault is it?
I don't see us going 6-11.
Is it Carr? Is it? Well, I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, is it Carr? Is it the coordinator? Is it the coach? What way are we gonna go with it?
Me personally,
I'm not paying. I'm not going to be paying $100 and something million to an average quarterback at best. Where's it going to go from here though? With Raider fans. So now are we going to go? Oh, maybe next year we bring in Devontae Adams. So everybody was on the bandwagon. Like I was even one. Like okay, let's get this dude a legitimate number 1 wide receiver. Okay, I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen during that game in overtime when he damn near threw the interception, Adams, his expression was like, body language was like,
bad throw.
What are you?
It's a bad throw, and that's the problem with the Raider Nation. It's a bad throw. I could completely understand that. It's a bad throw. But all 32,
Right.
all 32 teams in the league has bad throws like that. Let's be completely honest. People is y'all was highly praising Derek Carr throwing to Devontae Adams, having that continuity against the Chargers game. Yes, I understand it's a bad throw, but we're only 2 weeks in, and you have to understand that Josh McDaniels, as a coach, did not let his starters play in a live game for a whole month during the preseason.
Exactly, and I was against that.
What do we expect? So me personally, I'm putting it on Josh McDaniels before I put it on Carr, because you should have had Carr out there. You should have had Devontae Adams out there. You should have had this offensive line set, because at the end of the day, we still rotating offensive linemen during the game, so there's no continuity there. And then nobody on our defensive side of the ball, probably outside of Jonathan Abram, actually played in the preseason. This is a whole new team. They all should have been out there for 4 weeks, at least 1 or 2 drives. We probably would have been in a different situation, probably being 2-0, if we would have played those guys in preseason. It's on Josh McDaniels,
so if we fail this year, who's it fall on? The coach or the players?
It falls on everybody. It's not just Carr.
Right.
It falls on everybody. And that's the problem I had with the nation, because they ready to go under. They ready to give Carr his problems, but nobody wants to call out the coaches. Nobody wants to call out the organization. Nobody wants to call out how many people that we released this offseason, who we traded, all the people that we traded.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer in that spotlight, because at the end of the day, I even question the hiring of Josh McDaniels. And because, like I said, I've been around since 1979, and the Patriots and bringing 2 guys in to run the team that probably disliked Al Davis. I mean, my twisted mind as an old Raider fan is like, man, this man's just coming over here to tear down the team and shit. You know what I mean? Just like what I said about John Gruden. Hey, Al Davis didn't like John Gruden. We don't know exactly why that transpired for him to get him out of town. Maybe Al Davis knew John Gruden had some racial shit in him or whatever, but
it was power.
Irregardless, he got traded for whatever reasons, right? So then he comes back after Al Davis dies.
He comes back.
And I know John Gruden. What I'm saying is, and we missed on all them number 1 draft picks. You know what I mean? Cleveland Farrell, that's a miss. Alex Leatherwood, that's a miss. Henry Ruggs, he could have been some, but he made a bad mistake. But at the end of the day, that's a miss. Damon Arnett, that's a miss. Shit like that put your franchise back years. You know what I mean? Letting Khalil Mack go. I didn't like that move. You know what I mean? That dude at the time was one of the best defensive players in the league. Letting Amari Cooper go. I didn't like that move. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, being a diehard Raider fan, I'm thinking, okay, now if we hit on some of them draft picks, then it looks cool. But he missed on all of them. So
it kind of set us back. It kind of set us back. And people and people like Swin Raider that's in the chat, he said the defense played good enough for us, and we tried running after Murray and stuff like that. I can completely understand that the offense looked like shit, but how do you expect this offense to get any better if we don't have faith in it? I think, yes, I understand that Josh McDaniels got to run the football with Josh Jacobs. He has to. If you're not going to give him if you're not going to give him his 5th-year option, let him prove it.
Yeah, I just don't understand why we ain't feeding that guy. You know what I mean? He had a good first half. He's going to get us them tough yards, man. You know what I mean? And then we ain't even talking about this. Putting Hunter Renfrow, that's just crazy.
Number 1, Andrew Butterfield, I am angry about this, but at the same time, as being a former coach and being a former football player that been through this, I understand what's going on. I understand. Like, I'm at a point where it's 3 phases to a football game. It's special teams, defense and offense, and we lost that game collectively. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because when we kicked the ball off to them in the third, I think we kicked the ball off to them in the what's that? In the I think it was one time that we kicked the ball off to them, and they got damn near to the 50-yard line. Our special teams couldn't tackle. 9 years, man, it's time to get rid of Carr. Yeah, it's 9 years, but you got 6 coaches in 9 years. You tell me a quarterback that's going to come in and be successful with 6 different coaches in 9 years. I wait. Because if you look at if you look at the best of the best QBs, they keep the same coaching staff. Look at the best. Aaron Rodgers. You see how many years he had have his quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. You see how many times long he had Andy Reid? Let's keep going. Listen.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, though, you know, I think Carr is you know, it to me, and I talked to a couple other people on YouTube. They're like, Carr's like declining. You know what I mean? Instead of coming up, he's declining.
But what's making him decline? Because it's only 2 games. We still have 15 games. So we're saying that he's declining after 2 games. When he haven't played a snap in a month, I'm lost by that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
No. What I'm saying is this, though, is in reality, for mediocreness, right? Other than the 26 season and last year, right? I know we've had bad teams and shit like that, right? But what has he done? You know what I mean? I'm like, you know, I just think
I'm just not
giving
up. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, sir. I really do. But I'm not giving up on Carr after 2 games. I mean, I'll give him to the end of this season and see what happens, and then we could talk about it. But after 2 games, I'm not saying get rid of Carr. I'm just not doing it. We still got 15 games to play. I'm just not doing it.
Exactly. And when you say next week's a must win for us, though?
Yeah, if we have a right game plan. We don't have these two weeks that we played, our game plan was not great. Like I said it on my Twitter. People was mad about Devontae Adams only having 2 receptions, but Derek Carr targeted him 7 times. And Carr spreaded the ball, but everybody complained about Carr not spreading the ball against the Chargers because Adams had 17 targets on 10 catches. Everybody was asking where Renfro at, where Waller at. Carr came back this week and got Renfro on 10 targets for 8 catches. Mac Hollins, 8 targets, 5 catches. Darren Waller, 10 targets, 8 catches. 2 catches for Devontae Adams on 7 targets. You cannot tell me that's not spreading the football.
Yeah, no. It at the end of the day, I wouldn't care as long as we get W's. You know what I mean? He's spreading the ball around, you know. But at the end of the day, what matters in football is wins and losses.
Which
you know,
it is.
If we come out with wins, ain't nobody gonna talk about that. But it's when you lose, and the way you lose has a lot to do with shit. You know what I mean? I'm not sold on Josh McDaniels. You know, maybe the man ain't meant to be.
I'm not sold on his play calling at this point. I'm just not. His play calling is really suspect. It's really suspect.
I mean, he's supposed to be some offensive guru and all this. So being an offensive guru, you gotta play to your players' strengths.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Play to their strengths, not their weaknesses. You know, and just at the end of the game, that bullshit. Like, come on, man. Josh Jacobs runs the ball. That youngster we got, Zamir White, they're going to get the few yards that we need to put our all-pro kicker in their coffin to end the game. You know what I mean? And then we ain't even having this conversation. But if you don't put them in better positions to win football games, this is what it's going to be.
I just see it as we evaluate Carr after this year. But just say trade Carr after 2 weeks, I wouldn't say that right now. I just wait to the end of the season, see what it looks like, and then we go from there. That's all I'm saying. But as far as Josh McDaniels go, you like running backs by committee. You did it in New England. Why you're not doing it here? Why
exactly.
Is he, why you're not like you see Amir Abdullah on a halfback screen get a big chunk of yards on a halfback screen? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I've been saying about a lot of NFL coaches in this league. A lot of NFL coaches in this league,
try to outsmart themselves.
Exactly, and that's what I think Josh McDaniels is trying to do. He's trying to outsmart himself. If something is working, you keep running that shit until you stop it.
They stop it. Exactly. That's at the end of the day, it's like me. I was able to see all the Raiders championships, so a lot of people haven't seen them. But like I was talking to my mom who's still in California, and I was like, man, she's like, this shit is pathetic. You know what I mean? And a lot of my family feel that way, like, because they spending money and time and all. They just got to put a better team out there. You know what I mean? I don't know about you, but I get tired of saying, hey, this year's going to be the year. And then this is what we get. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand.
Hey, Rick Riley, he had 7 targets and only had 2 catches. But Styles by generic 3-1-2. Waller catches the ball. If Waller catches the ball in the game for a TD, that game is a W. We needed it to end the fourth in the second. And we could have been 2-0. Now that catch that Waller dropped in the end zone and let Jalen Thompson deflect that could have been caught by Waller. We would have been up 3 touchdowns by then. But it happens. It happens. The one in the back of the end zone, that would have been Carr's 3rd touchdown of the game. And that would have been 2 for Waller.
That would have sealed it.
That would have sealed the game. I don't think they would have came back from a 3 touchdown deficit. I just don't think so. We'll be up 20. What? They were up 27. It would have been 27-0.
Yeah, that would have sealed it. I mean, but that's the whole thing, though. Seeing the team dominate the first half and then come out like a totally different team. Whether it's coaching or a quarterback, or you just got to perform, man. You got a team down, you bury them. You don't let no team get no hope, and that's the problem. You let a team stay in, shit happens in football. You know that,
right?
And that's what happened.
And a lot of people would.
I even told my mom, Spotlight. I even told my mom. I said, "Watch this. We're gonna lose this football game." And then, she called me. She's like, how you know? I said, because the Raiders are predictable. You know what I mean? They don't know how to bury a team.
Yeah, we don't. We don't. And that's the number one thing with this loss. We did not keep the foot on the gas. We just didn't. And I don't even know who the hell our offensive coordinator is, because it looked like it's Josh McDaniels calling it instead of the offensive coordinator. But in another aspect of this, right? When it comes down to this game overall, at the end of the day, we just should have won the game, but we got too comfortable. But from the film that I saw today, and people don't want to blame the defense, but I broke it down today. Devon Diablo and his Patrick Graham's defense. A 4-2-5 is the worst defense in the league. I hate the 4-2-5. Because you only have 2 inside linebackers, and if Chandler Jones can't set the edge, we're fucked.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying. So people fail to realize. People say, "Oh, don't be mad at the defense. Don't be mad at the defense." But look at the concept of the defense. We got 5 defensive backs, 2 inside linebackers. If they run a zone play and we can't set the edge, we're screwed. And I'm gonna tell you why this happened. It was one play that they ran a wildcat. They ran a wildcat, and Devon Diablo came down so fast, but a little juke hesitated him from coming down and making that tackle for a loss, and it ended up being a first down. I saw the play with my own eyes. I wish I could show it on here, but YouTube would not let me show it. But he could have just ran through the hole and got the tackle for loss in that fourth quarter. It would have been a non-manageable third down. But on a 2nd and 9, he doesn't hit the gap. A little juke, not even a head fake, but a little jump cut just stops him from coming downhill. Devon Diablo is not the linebacker for us.
I know exactly
He's just
what
not.
you're talking about. He whiffed on the play.
Oh my God!
I know what you're talking about. But at the same time, you know, I'm a firm believer that was a team loss because the defense has to take credibility too, because at the end of the day, we were up 20-0.
Right.
So you can't just blame the offense either. You know what I mean? Like they didn't give up 29 unanswered points. You know what I'm saying? So if you stack a lead, you got to protect it. And people on the defensive side didn't make stops when they needed to.
I just hate the 4-2-5 defense. I thought Patrick Graham was going to come in here and change defensive fonts depending on the scenario. Like he did that in New York. And now you stay in a scheme that gives up so many points. We was in a 4-2-5 with Gus Bradley last year, and we gave up so many points. This is why I'm so big of the 4-3 or the 3-4. I'm so big of it because it protects everything, the middle of the field and the edge. That's why I'm so big on it. But no, the 4-2-5. What really hurts? It's not the four defensive linemen. It's those 2 linebackers. If we overreact and they cut back inside, we have no backside linebackers in a 4-2-5, and it hurts. But everybody want to say that Jonathan Abram could be that third linebacker. Well, bring him down then.
Yeah, he's playing 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, though. You know what I mean? Like you said, you got to bring him in, you know? I think, honestly, if Denzel Perryman was there, that game's different.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think it's different. And Trevor Murray got free safety. I think it's different, you know? We're dealing with some injuries, but at the end of the day, Spotlight.
We still got to play. We still got to play football.
But coaches need to put their players at the best position to win the game.
Facts. That's big.
If you don't put somebody where they can be, you know, if you put them in a bad position, you're going to see a bad result.
Facts. But I'm gonna let you go.
You know what I mean? So it's like
I know the phones are blowing up right now, bro. The phones are blowing up like crazy, man. But I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you calling up, brother. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. But these guys are calling up, man. They are calling up right now.
Yeah. All right, brother.
I appreciate it, man. You too.
All right.
I apologize, y'all. I know I get carried away.
San Luis Obispo, CA.
I know I get carried away with everything that's going on, man. I know I get carried away with these phone calls, man. But thank you for calling Spotlight Radio Talk. Who is this and where you calling from?
This is Dustin from St. Louis, bro. I'm just saying, like, I don't think that Derek Carr is like the worst quarterback. It's just the fact that he doesn't really have the ball pretty much, because like in every single post game like press conference you see, it's him saying, you know, I'm just trying to throw the ball where McDaniels wants it. I'm just trying to put the ball where he wants it. He's not putting the ball where Derek Carr himself wants to put the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not being an instinctual type player. He's a system quarterback right now. He's very much a system quarterback right now. And since it's a new offense and he's trying to learn it, I think he's trying to be on the coach's good side too much. And I think he needs to have that Rich Gannon, John Gruden type relationship where, yes, he can call the play, but at the same time, you have to kind of like chip back a little bit and be like, yo, look, I know you want the ball thrown 3 yards on an out route, but like if I see somebody going deep and he's wide open through the seam, like you got to throw that shit. You got to have the balls to throw to someone that wide open. You can't just be, oh, did I throw where you wanted me to? Like you can't be a pleasing person. You got to just go out there and do it.
Now I could completely if I could completely agree with that. Like it's been times where Derek Carr just does not. If you don't like the play, you have the right to change it. You know what I'm saying? You have the right to change it, and I think that Carr, he should realize that by now. But he's so stuck in the ways of being under John Gruden, and now he's still stuck in those ways with Josh McDaniels, trying to prove everybody wrong. And that's I think he just needs to get out of his own head. I think he's overthinking too much. And I can see it. I can if you look at the film, you can see after every completion, he's pissed. He's like, damn, I wish I could have had that. But he doesn't know how to get over it and get to the next play. And that's something that Carr, mind you, every quarterback, no matter how long is in the league, is always room for improvement. I don't care if you've been in the league 20 years. There's always room for improvement. Tom Brady is doing it. It's still room for improvement for him. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes, I'm not comparing. I'm just saying I'm not comparing Tom Brady and Derek Carr. I'm just throwing it out there because there's no comparison there. It's none. But I'm saying it's always room for improvement. And I think, and I hope that Derek Carr sees what we're trying to say here. If you do not like the play that Josh McDaniels is calling, call out of it. Call what you want to call, and make sure your offensive line is on the same page as you. Because that could be another thing too, that your offensive when you're shifting the offensive line during the game, and you want to call a different cadence, and no offensive lineman doesn't know that cadence, it sucks. And that's my biggest problem with Josh McDaniels right now. You should have known who your set 5 offensive linemen are going into week 1.
Yeah, I don't know why he keeps saying that switching Illuminor and Mumford is a designed thing to keep them fresh. Because, like, if you're an NFL player, you should be conditioned enough to play the whole game. You shouldn't have to keep switching out your right tackle.
Right. Absolutely. I agree.
But on top of that, I think being completely optimistic here, I think it's best that we have the first 2 weeks as a learning experience like we did. The first week, it was fucking targeting Davante Adams the entire time. It was trying to figure out, okay, our starters haven't been on the field in like a month because we didn't play the preseason. Like, it was trying to figure that out. Then I think he heard the criticism. Oh, all he did was throw the ball to Adams. All he did was do that. And so he's like, okay, I'm going to be a people pleaser and I'm going to spread the ball out. He spread the ball out and we still lost. So it's like, I think like it was a very good learning experience to lose these 2 games. Sure, we could have won them. That would have been nice to learn and win in the process. But in our previous couple of years, we've seen it where the Raiders start out fast and finish off slow. So the optimistic part of me is saying, okay, what if we start off slow and then ramp it up and then finish strong with a winning season that hopefully leads us into the playoffs, where instead of taking like a year or 2 to actually learn the system, it's just him learning it every game and we get better and better and better each game. And that has us with a momentum push into the playoffs.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, people are giving up on this team at 0-2 where we only have 15 games left. We have 15 games left, and a lot of things can turn around. People can say, oh, it's 11% chance of us going to the playoffs being down 0-2. We've seen it happen with so many teams in this league that did it. With the Cowboys, we've seen the Patriots do it in 2001. We see the Giants do it in 2007, where they started out 0-2 and made the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying that the Raiders will make the Super Bowl, but it is possible. It is teams out there that have done it, starting 0-2, and end up having an impressive season and still making the playoffs. But I mean, it has to be something where it got to be a connection between Carr and Josh McDaniels when it comes to this offense. It has to be. It's a lot of things
100%.
that happen in this game when it comes to Renfro fumbling the ball twice. Darren Waller dropping that pass, which was a catchable pass in the back of the end zone.
There was a lot of
things that happened with this offense.
things.
A lot of things happened with this offense.
100%. Because I was the whole time I was watching it, like the first half went by, it was 20-0 at halftime, and my mom even told me she was walking through the room, and I was like, I wouldn't celebrate too early. You know how these games go, and then lo and behold, they ended up blowing it, and it's just like, man, like how do you I could see you wanted to manage clock, but we didn't even manage the clock that well. The offense,
We didn't.
Literally, the offense, they said on the CBS call, whatever channel, Derek Carr hadn't been on the field for 30 minutes.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
That's terrible time management. And with that being said, when you have your defense out there for 30-plus minutes, they're going to be exhausted, obviously. Right. And then when you come back on the offense and you still don't do anything, well, then, it was
what the hell?
I kind of knew it was yeah, they're gassed. This is a lost game,
and we have to learn that the clock management was very terrible from Josh McDaniels. It really was. I feel like Josh Jacobs didn't touch the ball enough in the second half. People, and according to Raider tape, he said that
I don't know why he's so scared of the run game.
I don't get it. I mean, people think that
in the first half, we were keeping them honest. We were running the ball and then we throw it. We were running, then we throw it.
Right.
And that's how we got up 20-0.
Yes.
Then the adjustment was, okay, now we're going all out passing. Why would you go away from something that was keeping their defense so honest?
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. I think during that halftime they over-adjusted.
I don't think it.
Granted,
I don't think Patrick Graham made an adjustment. I don't think he did.
I don't think so either because he realized, okay, we're shutting them out. I don't think we have to do anything different. The Cardinals made an adjustment, and they were throwing short passes, going to a more West Coast type offense, throwing underneath, getting the short yards, and that's how they kept going down the field and scoring every possession.
Absolutely. I completely agree 100% with that. I really agree with that 100%, man. And something has to be done. This is a collective loss as a team, man. I can't just put all the blame on Carr. I can't just put all the blame on McDaniels. This is a team loss from top to bottom. Every player that played,
100%.
every player that played in this game, every player that played in this game was a part of this loss. If you stepped out on that field yesterday,
100%.
I don't care if it was kick return, punt return, kickoff. I don't care. If you was out there on that field, you was a part of that loss.
Especially just, I don't know. I don't like having on that last play when Kyler went and scrambled for 30 minutes at the goal line damn near. I don't like how we had 2 300-pound inside D linemen, and when Kyler was back there, they didn't get to him. They hardly even moved.
Right.
Everybody was dropped into coverage, and then by the time Kyler just decided to run it, everybody was already back, and it was too late to make a play at the pylon. So why doesn't Patrick Graham give a Neil Farrell a chance, a Matthew Butler? I mean, Nichols got injured with a shoulder injury, so I'm pretty sure versus the Titans we're going to see one of the two. And if we don't, then at least get Cleveland Farrell and Malcolm Kuntz. Malcolm Kuntz definitely needs more snaps. I'm sorry, he does. He just does. He showed up in the preseason. He shows he's a raw talent, and I think if he just gets that playing experience more, you have a really good backup defensive end. I don't know why he's not playing either. It's just a lot of learning curves with this team right now. So I guess it's better that we lose and learn right now than be losing in a week 17, a week 16 where we're still not figuring out. It's probably just best to get the kinks out now.
And Malo213 says these 2 games was our preseason game for our starters. Adjustments, get the W on Sunday, and that's what we have to do. We have to get the W. Why does this guy keep spamming me, bro? Like, this is weird. Like, why do you keep spamming my channel, bro? I have to keep blocking the same person over and over again. But I just don't understand it. But he said, that's BS. Not every player on this whole team had Max Crosby in his arms for the game-ending play. Let him get away. That was the only person that get it straight home. Listen, it's when you're playing football, 10-day bender on YouTube. When you're playing football, it's not an individual game, bro. This is not basketball.
100%.
This is not basketball. You still have
Max
10.
Crosby is the only one getting pressure, then
right.
It's fucked. Like,
right. And
if nobody else is getting pressure, you can't just look at Max Crosby and be like, oh, well, he should have got the sack. Okay, Chandler Jones should have got further in the backfield. Billings should have got further in the backfield. Like, it's not just on Crosby. You can't blame him as the only person getting constant pressure on the Cardinals.
That's what I'm saying. Even though that Max Crosby had one hell of a game, we still lost as a team. So yes, Max Crosby is a part of that loss. You just can't single out Max Crosby and just put the fault on every other defensive player on that team. You can't do that. You can't do that. Yes, Max Crosby played a wonderful game. He was the only one getting pressure. But at the same time, he has 10 other players out there that he's not getting help from. So with that being said, it's a team loss. There's no I in team. So with that being said, we have to take that. It comes to coaching, everything. Offense, defense, special teams, adjustments. It all happens that way. So with that being said, I disagree with you there saying that you want to single out Max Crosby. That's making it selfish. That's making it selfish to be like, oh, Max Crosby did that. This is not about one person. It's all about this shield that I have on my hat as a team.
Exactly.
We win with this shield and we lose with this shield.
The things that I saw that could have been the game sealer, a lot of things could have, but most importantly, Pat, on that first drive when we were playing zone defense and they were throwing underneath, getting a short gain, they went down the field and scored. Patrick Graham should have switched out of his zone defense. He should have switched out of it. He kept playing that the entire way through, and that's how they kept scoring all those times. I think he played man like once or twice, but for the majority of those drives, he was stuck in a zone defense. If you're going to say you're a coach that likes to adjust, you should have adjusted when they scored on those drives and kept exposing your zone defense.
Oh my God. I don't know if y'all saw the last video. I was live called Reaction Monday if you go look at it. But yeah, Jamal Robinson, you better single out Chandler Jones before Max Crosby. That's a fact. But I don't know if y'all saw the last live. I had to end the live because YouTube tried to, say that I had copyrights of the game film and stuff like that. But I did see a play with, this is when the Cardinals first scored. When the Cardinals first scored, if you go back and look at that, if you get a chance, go look at the first Reaction Monday when I was live. I showed it when Amik Robinson was in zone and that wide receiver, I think that rookie wide receiver, I think his name is Douch or something like that. The whole time he's running the route, Amik Robinson is looking at Kyler Murray. Not once he's looking at the receiver. Understand you're supposed to split the field and have you have your peripheral with your wide receiver and you're in the quarterback. But we seen the eye contact. I don't know if anybody was in that live stream.
And I think that's just Meek not having enough playing time in the scheme, because when that receiver, it wasn't called a touchdown. They said he was down at the 1 yard line, but
no, not that one. That was Marquise Brown. I'm talking about the first initial touchdown that Kyler Murray threw to Douch on an out route at the 4 yard line in the red zone.
Oh, okay, yeah, on the right side, right?
Yes,
on the right side?
yes, on the right side. Yup.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. There was I remember seeing that play. There was 3 defenders in the area. He hit the touchdown, and they all looked at each other. I think it was Yassine, Amik, and Deron Harmon. I think they all were in the same area, and they all looked at each other like, what happened?
Because Amik Robinson was lined up on Douch in the slot, and Douch ran that out route to the right, but his eyes was in the backfield of Kyler Murray. He didn't even look at where the receiver was going. He was strictly looking at Kyler Murray. He ran that out, and then Amik Robinson reacted too late, and it was a touchdown.
To be fair, though, that is how Amik got his interception. He was staring at Kyler, realized he was going to throw it, and had the discipline to get the interception.
Right.
It's kind of a hit or miss.
I wouldn't say that.
How he plays.
See, in the red, when you're in the red zone, you just can't keep your eyes on the quarterback. You just can't keep your eyes on the quarterback. If you're lined up in the slot and I'm in front of you, I'm gonna look in my peripheral to see where this wide receiver is going so I can react quicker. But this guy Amik was strictly looking at Kyler Murray. It was mind-boggling to me.
And I think that's an adjustment. I was gonna say, I think that's an adjustment they made, because if you look at the 2 BS holding calls, Schemer played great defense in the back of the end zone. I don't get how that's a holding call. And then I think Yassine played really good defense and got called for a holding call in the red zone.
Yeah.
So I think they were playing really sticky coverage. It's just they were getting BS calls on it.
I know, but I think
Amik probably took it upon himself to do that.
I'm so into, I'm very, as a former coach, I'm very big on the small things and instincts,
the
fundamentals of it. And when I looked at the film today, I just looked at our defense and offense was so out of place on both. It was more of the offense than the defense, but Devon Diablo, for real, looking at the film, Devon Diablo could have had multiple digit tackles. He should have had double-digit tackles.
And it's weird because he's a former safety coming from Virginia Tech. You'd think he would be excelling right now.
That's another issue that I have.
He'd be excelling right now.
That's another issue that I have. I'm tired of converting safeties into linebackers. Just go get one. Get one in the draft. Please do. Yeah. I'm sick of. I'll just hope that next year's draft that we go out and get a young linebacker that actually play linebacker. Not convert safety to linebacker. I hate that. Only reason why I think they did that because Deron Harmon is there, Trayvon Merrick is there, and Jonathan Abrams is there, and they felt as though that Devon Diablo probably can't compete with them. So you move him down to linebacker. Like what?
Honestly,
and number one, SD's puller. I would
put.
Hold up real quick before you say that.
I was gonna say if it would work. Okay, yeah.
So SD puller, I used to coach semi-pro football for 10 years, and I played semi-pro football for 10 years. After my 10 years of playing semi-pro football, I retired due to concussions. So I went into playing semi-pro, coaching semi-pro, and coaching high school. So I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing as an offensive coordinator and being playing both sides of the ball. I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm talking about.
You've been on the field and you've coached it.
Exactly.
You know what you're talking about.
Right. But you can go ahead.
A lot
of these people
who are making assumptions have never been hit before. But like I was saying, like if it works, I mean, you have packages on the defense that allowed Jonathan Abram to play in the box as a sub linebacker. If it works, put Devon up at the safety position. If it works, do it. Like, I don't see what's the harm in it and putting him back in his natural position that he excelled at Virginia Tech. Like, if Jonathan Abram could come down and be a sub linebacker and perform pretty well, I would say, why not give Devon Diablo a chance at safety?
Right. Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. Like, if you can mix and match, like that's the thing that they've been preaching. They want the offensive line to play multiple parts on the offensive line. They want Hobbs to be able to play nickel and outside. Okay, if you want people to play multiple positions, you have a Devon Diablo that was a safety who was converted into a linebacker. So put him back at his position. Nate Hobbs in college was an outside corner. He was moved into the nickel.
But he plays better. But Nate
era.
Hobbs plays better in the nickel with the Raiders than playing outside, in my opinion. I like Nate Hobbs inside. I don't know what it is. I think he's a better playmaker at the line of scrimmage from the inside out.
Because his tackle for losses during the Charger game. He was going crazy. He was going crazy with the tackle for losses. I think he had 2, but he definitely shows that if he wants to come down and come off the receiver, he could definitely make a play. His open field tackling ability, I think he's the best corner on the field that we have.
Yes.
In terms of tackling ability, I do 100% think Nate Hobbs is the best open field tackler on the defense in terms of a corner.
Yes, absolutely. But we got to give respect to Rock Ya-Sin too, because Rock Ya-Sin played really well.
Oh, he played great.
He gave up like one. He gave up one big play, but I think he had AJ Green on lock. Even though AJ Green had a few inches on him, he played AJ Green really well. I mean, that 2-point conversion for them to get into overtime, for me that was luck, because AJ Green was covered. He was covered like the Marquise Brown, like the Marquise Brown catch between 2 defenders. That was luck.
I'm gonna be honest. When I saw the replay, I thought that ball hit the ground.
I didn't get a chance to watch the replay of that.
I think that ball hit the ground.
I gotta look back and look at it and see what happened there.
If you do, they said on the call on TV that there wasn't enough evidence to overturn the touchdown, but you do watch it in slow-mo. They have one camera angle that they quickly moved away from. You could see AJ, I think it was AJ Green, catches it in the back of the end zone, drops, the ball hits the ground, and he picks it back up within a second. That's what I saw, but then again, I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, it's the Raiders versus the Reds. No, because we 100% lost that game as a collective.
Absolutely.
Sure, there was some bad calls that went against us, but at the end of the day, we shouldn't, be just depending on bad calls. We had so many chances to put that game away. We could have put that game away, but we didn't. That's simple and plain. So now we just got to learn from these first 2 weeks, move on to the Titans, and then, hopefully we win 2 out of the 3 before we hit this bye, and then, go into the season and start ramping it up and being better and better each week.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. But I appreciate you calling up and chatting with me, man. Every Reaction Monday, we're definitely going to keep doing this. We're going to break down. I'm going to try to see if I can get the all 22 film and upload some content of like certain possessions of the second half, so that people can understand when you're watching film and you see players out of place. You're like, damn, why is he so out of place? Why is we setting this player up for failure? Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's going to be a lot of breakdowns that I'm going to have. I'm definitely going to have one about Devon Diablo. I'm going to definitely have one about this. I'm going to definitely just do one about the Raiders offense in this second. I'm going to condense it all the way down to just the Raiders offense, those 5 possessions that we had in the second half that we didn't do shit for. I'm going to break it down.
When you do watch the film, though, watch on defense when the Cardinals run a hurry-up offense and Patrick Graham doesn't call a timeout the entire time and just runs zone.
Okay.
That's what ticked me off the most. When the Cardinals were running hurry up offense and the Raiders defense were all looking confused at each other and we kept giving short passes underneath.
Hey, Zeus Martinez.
Timeout.
Hey, Zeus Martinez, you said no team in the past 3 years has made the playoffs starting 0-2. That's the past 3 years, but in history, we've seen it happen. That's just the past.
Happened before.
It happened before, but
it's possible.
I'm not saying. It's very possible. I'm not ruling us out after 2 weeks. I'm just not after knowing that we got a 15-game season. I'm just not ruling us out. I'm just not. Is the line still up? This is actually the last call, man. This is actually the last call. And I do want to thank you for calling up, and I appreciate it, brother. I really do thank you for calling up.
Yeah, thank you for having this talk. It's nice to have conversations like this, so you're not pent up all angry about a game,
Yeah, true. But I appreciate you calling up to the show, man. Much respect.
Yeah, 100.
All right. Shout out to everybody that called up to the show and had their fair share of what they had to say, man. So Adrian Rodriguez says, I feel like a couple bad drives by the Raiders offense does not excuse the defense blowing the lead. Hey, that's your opinion, man. He's wrong. They said 2 years, not 3. Okay. Jesus, where did you get that facts from? Google? True. Y'all have a really good team, especially when the offense y'all having Carr, Renfro, Adams, and Waller. I think we just have to figure out our identity. I think offensively, we don't have an identity right now. We as an offense, we don't have an identity, and I feel like our identity should run first. And that's just my personal opinion. I think we just should run the ball, get Josh Jacobs what he needs, but we gotta go to him in crucial times. And that's something that, not Carr, but Josh McDaniels should have did in OT, even though we shouldn't even got to OT. We shouldn't even got there, but the offense didn't look well. The offense looked better against the Chargers than it did against the Cardinals. It's a known fact. But this is what happens when you as a coach hold on. I know that at the end of the day, it's lost, man. It's a bad loss, and we got to move on. We gotta move on, and we gotta get focused on the Tennessee Titans. And I'm gonna go watch this game against the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills and see what we can exploit. Can we stop making excuses? Turnovers. We lost both games because of turnovers, and we still gonna have a good season. Hey, I respect it, man. I respect it, but it's a tough loss, man. It's a tough loss. It's a team loss, and all the blame is not on Carr, y'all. And I'm sick and tired of that. I'm sick and tired of these, content creators saying it's all Carr. It's all Carr. Carr has a percentage in this loss because he's a part of this team. But this is a team loss, man. All 3 phases of the game has to play better. All 3 phases. I'm not excluding out nothing. Everybody on this 53-man roster has to play better. And Josh McDaniels have to put the best players on the field. And Malcolm Kuntz needs some reps. There's no way you're not using Malcolm Kuntz here. It sucked, man. It really sucked as a team. But we got to move on. And I'm moving on. I'm not talking about this Cardinals game no more after today. It's time to focus on the Tennessee Titans and what we can do to be better and improve and get this win this Sunday. But let me know what y'all think, man. If y'all want to go look at the last video that I did, the last live was Reaction Monday. And was not able to show the rest of the film because YouTube didn't want me to do anything of that nature. They shut the stream down. Yeah, this is the season where every game is a toss-up. Absolutely. It is. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Reaction Monday. It's time to move on. I'm gonna go out here and watch the game, look at the Tennessee Titans game, and look at the Eagles game as well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. I know it's late. It's 2 hours in. Thanks for all the callers that called in. Don't forget, y'all can call in every Monday or every Tuesday if we play on the Monday Night Football, or you know how it is, man. Y'all know how it is. It's Spotlight Raiders Talk, man. The road to 8K is here. So if this is your first time ever being here, we highly suggest that you subscribe and hit the bell button and get the latest news and all Raiders news. But until then, peace, love, and happiness, y'all. I know some of y'all be trying to get me out of character and stuff like that. And I know I'll be rude sometimes. I just take my frustration out on people that doesn't not be logic about the game of football, you know? So thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. I love y'all. And I respect y'all, man. I respect y'all opinion, man. It sucks, man. It really, really sucks. So I love y'all, man. I love all my subscribers. I love all my supporters, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And I'll see y'all in the next live stream or in the next video. Peace out.
Hi, my name is AJ Cole, and I'm the punter for the Las Vegas Raiders, and you are now watching Spotlight Raiders Talk.
To last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past,